brain slews, slick with ectoplasmic juice.
Ecstatic energy, a fire that fuels our memory.
With genealogy, with spiritual topography.
Questions for your answers, we are data necromancers.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have not one, not two, but three guests. We've got Murphy on Megan's lap, we've got Ruby off cam, and we have a baby who's sleeping. So
she has her own cam, though.
She does have her own cam. It'd be funny to have a sleeping baby cam. Oh shit.
We did that in one episode of Rubbish Cook. We showed, because it was the Nacho-mancy. Was that me?
I think it was me.
You farted,
there we go.
You
It's
farted
clicked
into your microphone.
Anyways, we'll see how long we last, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to MAWPOD 66.
666, you little bitch.
Get your kicks on your dicks.
Sorry, next. I don't think my mic was plugged in all the way. It is now.
Let's fucking go.
Alright, Megan. What the fuck are you doing today?
Oh, it's been quite a lovely day so far.
You drove a stranger to the Social Security office.
Yes, I did. I felt no apprehension about it either. I was like, here, I'll drive you. But so this morning I got up, I got my coffee, I gave Willow her food. I'm buying her a new kind of fancy feast. It's like a senior plus.
Is that where they just start adding older cats into the mix to feed them to the older cats?
Wouldn't they get some type of like, what is that, mad cow disease?
They take the brains out.
Oh, you just can't eat neurons.
Can't eat the brains.
Okay.
By design.
By design. Don't eat the brains.
Don't eat the brains.
Although I've had brain before.
Isn't that sweetbread?
That's the thymus gland.
Oh.
Maybe though. You may be right. So I went to the gym and it was really fun to thrash around a little bit.
I want to come to the gym with you.
Dude, that'd be sick. I'd love that. And then I saw
How do I get comfy?
my friend I saw my friend Miriam, who is the cleaner of the apartment complex, and I knew she had been doing like a fuck ton of cooking over the holidays. So I was like, what comida were you making? And she was like, tamales, pozole, just like a ton of delicious sounding food. And she said she made tamales dulces, like with strawberries and piña. I was like, that sounds fucking...
My favorite tamale is a sweet corn one.
That's what I was like, with elote or like with maize? And she was like, no. Why are you so excited about that?
She's like, yeah, that's for some basic bitches.
Yeah, but I love the sweet corn maize.
Wow, that shit is so good.
Tamales. So I got to see Miriam, which is always great because she's just so into food, and we always just talk about like what we've been
She's
cooking.
making a lot of food because she has family.
And she's been cooking her entire life for her family, with her family. She worked at Chipotle as a cook for like 10 years. She worked at McDonald's. Like, she's just always cooking food and nourishing people. So I got to see her, and then I took a shower, and I got ready to come here. And on my way out to my car, this like young gentleman... Here, do you have enough space?
I do.
This young gentleman with a backpack who looked like very presentable and like ready for the day. And there was nothing... I didn't second guess his intentions at all. And he was like, excuse me, do you know where the I always have trouble saying this, Social Security office is? And I was like, oh yeah, where are you parked? And he's like, I don't have a car, I'm walking. And I was like, oh, okay, here, you might as well, I'll just take you there.
You handed him the knife.
I handed him the knife, he held it to my throat.
And you happily both walked.
And he told me he's from Central India. He just moved here.
Why Texas? I'm always so curious when
he said he's working in IT.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't want to be
I was like,
presumptuous.
are you here for school? And he said, no, I'm here working in IT. And I was like, oh, where'd you move from? And he's like, India. And I was like, whoa, what part? Like, I know the parts of India. And he's like, oh, do you know India? I was like, no, I mean like north, west, east, whatever. And he's like, Central India. I was like, cool, I fucking love Indian cuisine. And it was just like, I just like dropped him off and I was like, good luck with whatever you're doing. It's like, you just moved here from India and you're going to the Social Security. Like, this is the beginning of a new life. Like, I'm happy to like bring you here faster. But it was just cool interactions with nice, friendly people this morning to get me started. And I also did some reading in a book called Chatter, just like a Google book review. So I just like pulled out my laptop and I was researching.
He's throwing the stuff down the toilet.
Oh my goodness. I have some moths in my apartment, so I was like, do I have a moth infestation? But then immediately my brain was just like, chatter. Like the word chatter just like emblazoned itself on my chalkboard, my mental chalkboard. And I googled the word chatter, and the first search result was a book called Chatter, and I just started reading excerpts from it. And it's all about your inner voice. Is that Bluey?
We gotta watch. That's cute. It's pretty cute.
We have to get her a mini Bluey set.
We're watching.
That's pretty cute, man.
This book sounds right up my fucking butt crack alley. Keep going.
So, introspection. Introspection is listening to the voice. That's very cool. I love it. That's very great. I love it. Oh my gosh.
She's seen this one before.
Oh, so she knows it's going in the toilet. Here, I made some notes. What about you, brother? You've been up since the ass crack a diz on.
We talked about, okay, so it started with her friend Madeline was in the hospital for an emergent appendectomy. You were at her house. You showed me her Ancestry wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, did your Ancestry account, are there any pictures? Because I was like, if there's pictures, I'll sign up for it. And then I remembered that I have this Mormon app because the Mormons are apparently huge pedigree. Like, they're filling out family trees. It's like what they're doing.
And it's free.
And it's free.
It's basically the
free
same information as Ancestry, but it's free.
And so I remembered that, but I remember neither of my parents were in there, which makes sense. But when I put in my grandparents, it just like both sides went. The Hazelmeyers ended in the 1700s, and then my mom's side ended in the 1500s, basically back to when they started actually documenting stuff. It's because at the end, it's like, we don't document this. Yes, babe. Okay, yeah.
Poop juice.
It's my daughter, ladies and gentlemen.
She's like, I just have one thing to add.
I woke up to this song. Crack and butthole, crack and butthole. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I was fucking laughing so hard. I was like, I could wake up like that every day.
What a dream. But yeah, you have so many pics.
There's so many pics, and then there was like this, there's biographies in there.
That really blew my dick off. Like a fucking history of a man. That's what you want to read in order to feel grounded in your lineage.
His house is a historical site. We should go there. I've
Where?
never been. Waseca, Minnesota.
Okay. You are all witnessing this. We are going to borrow / rent our friend's RV.
He's got a 2001. It's like the camper. It's a van and a camper.
It is so exquisite.
It's so cool.
It has like wood cabinets. It's like so old school, but it would just be so comforting to go on like a family discovery trip.
You know how many roads it takes to get to my birthplace?
How many roads?
From here?
69?
1.
What?
I lived off 35.
What? I thought 35 went north-south.
Yeah, straight north. It is
Holy shit.
straight north from here.
I'm not as familiar with the geography of our country as I'd like to be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know where Minnesota is.
Directly west of here. You run right into it.
Damn, son. Well, hopefully we can take a few detours and see some wacky shit.
Unfortunately, the detours from 35, there's nothing. Because it's like Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa. It's just like cornfields. It is such a boring drive. I swore I would never do it again. Unless, of course, I was in a camper.
I would love to see, like, Slipknot play a show in a cornfield in Iowa.
That sounds great.
Can we write them and just, like, insist that they do that?
Yes.
Okay. So, we're going to take that trip because there's a fucking kitchenette in there. There's, like, a fridge the same size as my fridge in my apartment. It's gonna happen. So, introspection is actively listening or paying attention to one's own thoughts and feelings. The ability to do this is what allows us to imagine, remember, reflect, and then use these reveries to problem solve, innovate, and create. So the chatter consists of the cyclical negative thoughts and emotions that turn our singular capacity for introspection into a curse rather than a blessing.
Yes.
So you're constantly having a conversation with yourself inside your head. And sometimes it's like, hey man, you did a really good job today on that.
But it's rarely like that.
Yeah. Well, you have to force yourself to be nice to. That's what I've learned in being an adult and like taking care of my own shit is like, I have to befriend myself. I have to like care about my own well-being and like make an effort to
Which would be easier.
Compliment my shit.
Which would be easier had we grown up in a environment that fostered.
Exactly. And it's wild because right as I was reading that, my brother called me. And since I was a little stoned, I didn't want to pick up because he's like, are you stoned? Like, I don't care. I'm not upset. But like, it makes you talk weird. So I was like, I'll pick it up. Whatever. And I was just writing.
When he says weird, do you mean like...
I'm like,
bigger
I'm
picture.
being highly logical right now.
Yeah, like smarter,
Am I talking
bigger.
above you? No, it's because his reality is very much like what is right in front of you is what's happening, and mine has always been more expansive and like curious and wondering. Like sometimes I'm more concerned with the conceptual than the actual.
There's a map of all the things people talk about and where they land, and you and I are towards the top.
We
don't gossip. I don't think you and I have ever gossiped about anything.
That doesn't get my dick hard.
I don't understand it.
And we also don't have bags and stuff.
We also don't have bags.
But sometimes we like to get our nails painted.
Did you know Chanel, Hermes, H&M, Burberry burn 30% of their merchandise every year?
Because of the supply demand thing?
I like having my seatbelt on.
That's good,
I
honey.
love that you love having your seatbelt on.
She said, excuse me, Mom,
we
I
should
love
just-
having my seatbelt on.
We should just get her own microphone.
For real, though. That's disgusting.
Because they make too much and they don't want people to resell it.
Is it used as fuel for people who don't have access to fuel? Because that would be something.
It should be.
But then those people wouldn't burn them. They would sell them. That's the idea.
Yeah, I love, like, I've always had a deep-seated hate for, like, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, all those upper brands, because they're all made in the same way, same factory.
It's an illusion.
It's a total illusion. Like those Gucci slides, they have them at Nordstrom, and I thought about stealing them because they're kind of cool, but they're foam. It's the same foam as
They're the same shoes.
It's the same shoes. They're made in the same way, but they're $800 at Nordstrom. They only put one out, and I was like, man, what would happen if I asked for the other one, put them on, and ran away? Like, they're not going to come after me. They're fucking
There
phone.
would be a warrant out for your arrest.
This woman who hates Gucci stole Gucci slides.
Well, that's always been a big complaint that I've had with like
Fast fashion.
the fashion industry, because it's so vacuous. It's like, this is worth $800 because I said it was, and you'll pay it. And there's nothing in between. Like, you
No,
don't gain anything.
And I'm wondering, like, the clothes that my grandma had were cool.
Guess what? They were getting toys.
From the toilet?
No,
Do toys come from the toilet?
no.
Oh.
Mom, can you help me with the headphones? I can't get them on.
Hang, we need to adjust the headphones. How we doing?
But where did it must have been with whenever fast fashion took off, which I'm guessing was like the mid 2000s, where suddenly there's no quality clothes and everything comes from the fast track manufacturing process.
Where people are like locked into buildings and then burn whenever there's a machine malfunction, and there's no like breaks, or I don't know.
What about the suicide nets outside of Microsoft?
Fuck, dude. There's just so many of us, and there's so many needs that have been manufactured. It's like, you need new clothes every month. You need this $800 pair of sandals.
I put on this pair of pants that I got at Target because my body's different after pregnancy, and I was like, I just want a fucking toga. I don't want to pick anything. I want to wear a nice heavy
Yes.
cloth every day.
Yep. Why not?
I don't want
We just need to get fabric.
this doesn't look good on me. It doesn't feel good. I just want a toga.
Yes. Oh my god, this is like two
Oh my god.
M&M's eating chocolate syrup or something. Yeah, I'm a huge proponent of just let's make our own clothes. You know?
I saw a really cute sewing machine at the sewing shop, and I thought about it because like with kids you could like get more into
Absolutely.
making crap.
I think that would be a great addition. But yeah, we're pissed about fast fashion destroying the planet, but also just like making gobs of money off of. That's a phone. That's a ringing. So we were talking about our early developmental experiences influence us significantly, because that's how we learn how to control ourselves or talk to ourselves.
In my Daughters of a Narcissist book, there's a whole
Yes.
chapter on being raised by narcissists and how it completely programs you to be a negative self-talker.
Yes.
And I had like a
It changed your DNA.
because it brought awareness to like, I thought this is just how it was.
It helps you see that
But I've always been that way.
you've made up from all the experiences that you've had. So our parents model self-control. Their approach, I know, I wrote that down, like their approaches seep into our development.
Right.
So if their approaches seep into our development and we never become self-aware, then we'll just keep perpetuating that same approach to self-control. Whereas in my example, I think that my dad had no self-control, and my mom had like way too much, so that she would like focus so hard on having 2 jobs and being a single mom, and then she would do something to release that, you know, like something in the opposite, like something transgressive.
My mom was a workaholic.
Yeah. So like they push too far in the expectations of their productivity or whatever, and then they have to like release that pressure.
There's no balance.
Right. So thinking about how my parents infused me with their own worldviews and their own approaches to reality, I'm like, which part is me? Which part is like unique? Where does that come in? Because obviously I've had more success at life than they did for some reason. And I was talking to my brother about it, and he, since he's in prison for so long, he is of the mindset, he's like, I am not just my parents and what they did to me. I have to take responsibility for my actions, and I am in control, and I can, make decisions and live with the consequences of my decisions. I'm like, yeah, dude, I know for sure. Like, there's obviously like part of you that's just you, and it's like a magical thing that neither mom nor dad have ever had or will ever have, because they're not you. But you can still acknowledge that your parents did that to you, or like gave you those tendencies, And I'm not putting blame on them, because it happened to them too, and it happened to the people before that. It's just like addiction has always been.
I see though in my family tree where it started to unravel.
Whoa, where was that?
Like 2 generations ago. Because I think the wars kind of kept people in line, and there was a storyline to follow, and you're getting plucked and put into a position of power, and seeing how much military was in my family, and you're like, oh, okay, well, you go do the thing, and then you're not home to be insufferable. But
there's so much more collateral damage from the absence and then the return when you're all twisted.
Yeah, but there was something too about, like, I have railroad people who built the railroad.
Cool.
There was like, we weren't on the comfort plateau of our needs being met. There was a frontier, especially in America, that wasn't that long ago to like build. And
where was the Dust Bowl? Is that further south from Minnesota? Well, I'm sure there was all types of struggle as a result of the environment anyway.
Oh, there was a huge economic collapse in the late 1800s. It was like devastating.
Like the recession?
That was like when our money wasn't really, I mean, that's when trains were
I'm sure people were still bartering.
Yeah, because there was no clocks.
There was no regulation.
There was no time zones. And that fucked it. Like a lot of people died.
That's where the age-old question, if a train leaves Denver at 5 p.m. and a train leaves Washington, D.C. at 3 p.m.
the echoes of trauma.
When will they meet?
When will they cascade into each other into a fiery burning mix?
It's scary. Like there's a book called The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, which basically outed the meat industry for how grossly unsafe working conditions were.
Yeah.
So if you don't have people who are like noticing how shitty everything is and making us think about it. People were dying. People were getting their hands chopped off, going into the meat.
People were getting sick.
Yeah.
From the meat.
Lots of illness
and
and
milk
disease.
industry too was like nasty before it was regulated.
And that's why we have the FDA or the USDA and all of those types of certifications that you have to pass in order to make food to sell to the public. But yeah, it's wild to like think about living in the Wild West when those didn't exist and it was every man for himself.
Then the car came along, and then people continued.
There were no seatbelts.
Yeah, there were no rules.
And there's no regulations about not driving drunk.
No, I mean, that was recent, and people were fucking offended.
Absolutely.
What do you mean I can't drink beer on the way home from work?
Aged men who would like have like 5 or 6 scotches at a dinner and then just like drive home, and it's chill.
Roll your butt.
Roll your butt. Roll your butt, ladies and gentlemen.
Roll it. Do a barrel roll. Oh shit, are the bottom of my feet dirty? It's fine.
I'll cut it out. I'll edit it.
It's fine.
You want me to blur it? You want me to put a censor bar
show
right
my
there?
feet.
Were you asking the question from chatter, like, who are you without?
I just think it's interesting to think about your inner voice. It's not always like this magnanimous force that's like giving you advice that's beneficial. It's not always this like gut-wrenching, villainous, like detrimental force either. It's like you, and you have so many different facets. So it's like understanding the conversation that I'm always having with myself.
And you're starting to pick up on your peripheral perceptions of
Yes.
which everybody has, but we all, like, I started channeling, then I always tense up because you're exposing yourself on the internet
It's
to
hard to be
paranormal stuff. But
vulnerable.
like when I started channeling, I started realizing the voices were always there, they just weren't mine. But you don't listen to them because your brain's always like, what if everybody is dead and everybody dies and you die, and then you're always just,
Well, and also there seems to be so much going on like on this plane of existence that who has time to engage with all of these other disembodied forces? Like, you have so much going on. How do you have time to listen to things that you can barely, like, they don't come in that clearly, so then you have to spend extra effort like interpreting them, or I don't know, maybe it's just you let it wash over you and whatever you pick up is whatever you pick up.
quieting the mind. I've been out of meditation during my pregnancy because I was in such horrific physical stance that I stopped. But now trying to get back into it, I see how bad my brain had.
Oh yeah, you're just pulled in every direction.
But it's like, man, I know I can get back there, but it's the discipline of trying to get back there that's like hard, and it takes a while to. But it's when my mind is really quiet that I can. He needs a neck pillow or a different neck or a different head shape or something. Yeah, he's like a swan.
Can you say like that? There you go.
But yeah, I mean, being a mother is so physically demanding, but also mentally and emotionally demanding. Like, someone always requires your attention and your focus. So no wonder your mind is like a monkey jumping around on a bed.
And it was like that before having kids, so yeah.
All of our minds are like that. And I mean, yeah, that's what meditation is meant to calm or quiet or lessen.
Mm-hmm.
So this book is written from I think he's a psychologist perspective. So he said that he had a very zen father, and his father would remind him to like remain in the present and like be with whatever activity that you're currently engaged in. But he brings up the fact that our brains are not necessarily designed that way. Like, that's not really what our biology speaks to. Our biology is meant to make us survive, so we constantly refer to memories of interactions that we've had in the past, and we make projections about what could happen in the future based on our behaviors. So remaining in the present, I mean, would be good and would be fine if you were a monk and you had no responsibilities to fulfill.
That's why I always call them pussies.
Right. Like, that's fucking luxurious, dude. That you get to just sit in zazen for 12 hours a day.
No kids, no wife, no car, no attachments, no house, no chores.
So, yeah, it's interesting to think like that seems like escapist to an extent.
Yes.
Because you don't have to reckon with all of these things grabbing your attention. But it's also a choice.
I went to Vermont, and we went to the highest point that you can go to in Vermont, And up there
Mount Kilimanjaro.
was where the Chartruthian monks go, and there's no road to their building.
Hell yeah. They're like, no, thank you.
And I stood
No
up
soliciting.
there. I stood up there and I looked down at them and I went, pussies.
Mama,
I was also jealous.
Yeah, of course.
I want that doctor speaker.
You want the doctor speaker?
Dr.
Okay, baby.
Speaker.
Yeah.
You're going to have to wait 362 days.
I'll show you, Mama. That one with the blue string. See that one?
That one with the
For Chris, for,
You can't say Christmas anymore.
Christmas is over.
I mean, for my birthday.
For your birthday.
Her birthday is
Alright.
next month.
I know. She's like, so tomorrow's my birthday? And I'm
It's
like,
in approximately 30 days.
I'm right now, like this.
I need to what? It's not going to happen. Anyways, we made it 32 minutes.
We're
Which is
cruising,
gr-
brother.
Which is great.
I was so blessed to have Christmas with you yesterday.
It was perfect. It was really just chill, and
We made pierogies.
we made pierogies. I'd never had a pierogi before.
Yeah, and I don't want to claim those as pierogies because I used gyoza
Why?
wraps. Well, because
you're
you're
supposed to
supposed
use
to make
dough?
you're supposed to make the dough and cut them out, and it's supposed to be thinner or whatever. But that was like just an exercise in pierogish behavior.
We could just call them pierogish.
Pierogish. I told my brother this
Did he
morning.
get chicken?
I don't know.
Oh,
Dang, I
was
should have
so
asked.
excited to see if he got chicken or not.
We talked about croissant pizza hot pockets, like made with croissant dough. I forget how we got on that, but it was like I was complimenting him on his ability to like read the room, because you know when people have spent a long period of time in incarceration, when they come out, it's like
It's
a
a
very
lot.
jarring experience.
When did he go in? What year was it?
2008.
So much has changed from 2017. Like, I was watching a documentary from 2017 and I was like,
No,
Oh.
yeah. He never got his driver's license. I don't think he had a cell phone. Or maybe he did. I'm not sure. But he doesn't know anything about social media or anything like that. AI technology.
you're gonna be like, look, people do bong rips of what they're eating and their own thoughts.
Everyone smells their own farts, including
They
us.
huff it until they die.
Looks like this is being pulled by maybe a little foot.
Ruby, stop.
But yeah, croissant pizza hot pockets.
I gotta text Hannah back. She's freaking out.
Okay.
But no, keep going. How would you construct?
Well, I guess I would just make... I was watching some Joshua Weissman videos on YouTube last night. Like one of those big conglomeration of like 42 ways to cook a potato or whatever.
I've never seen one of those. Does he actually do it 42 different ways?
Yeah, but whenever I watch videos on YouTube, I'm like clicking forward the whole time. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, cool.
The internet has that instant gratification vibe versus like TV. Rewatch the whole thing.
I tried to log into the Criterion Collection because Madeline gave me her login stuff, but I couldn't get it to work. I was gonna sit and watch a real movie.
A real live movie.
Didn't work out though, so I started watching a movie on Hulu called Masterminds with Zach Galifianakis and Kristen Wiig.
Is that you farted right in my butthole? I was gonna ask you. I was like, what is this? And do I need to watch it?
I didn't last the whole way. It's like whenever the conflict perks up and somebody starts getting taken advantage of, I'm like, I don't really want to look at this anymore. And then I go back to my regular shit.
I can't watch fiction half the time. I just can't. Because it's just so, campy. You know what's going to happen. The dialogue sucks.
Yeah, like, oh, this is so predictable.
The same shit is being made over and over and over. And you're like, yeah. There was like this series on Hulu or a movie. It's called The Creator. And it was a sci-fi movie. And I watched the preview.
I saw that thumbnail or whatever.
The aliens or the robots are smarter and they're taking over. And it's like,
We need a fresh take.
We have like 40 years worth of sci-fi movies, and this is the storyline.
Well, is it the Great Dumbing? It's like what Idiocracy predicted.
Yeah, I mean, we're there, I feel like. But I don't know are we always there?
Yeah.
We've always been there? Like,
I think there have been great leaps and bounds in our collective intellectual
and we haven't
progression.
seen one yet.
And we're just always surrounded by idiots too, you know? We got everything going on all at once. So we're making progress, but we also take, one step forward, 2 steps back.
I like having a newborn is like having a Frankenstein. Wait, was the monster's name Frankenstein?
The doctor's name was Frankenstein.
What's the monster's name?
Frankenstein's monster.
Oh, okay. Having a newborn is like having that. Like, you watch life being breathed into them. So one day, suddenly their arms move. And that day was yesterday. Like, she's doing this all day. And you're like, whoa, you weren't doing that yesterday. And then her legs are going like this. They're making walking movements.
Yeah, she was like bicycling yesterday when I was holding her.
It's cool. It's like that's what's working. But to see her arms just keep slapping her in the face, I'm like, oh.
Is that why they put little oven mitts on kids' fingers
or
on their hands?
That's why they swaddle them. I don't like doing that. If she's exhausted and it's been bothering her all day, okay, I'll do that. But like, let the neurons fire, and I don't know. I don't like the idea of constricting you for no particular reason.
There's this at HEB, at the Mueller HEB, on the diaper aisle.
You mean church?
At our church. There's like a swaddle thing, like a package. And there's this cute little baby who's just like wrapped up like a burrito on the front, and like every time I walk by it, I like shed a joyful tear. I'm like, everything's gonna be okay. That baby is probably 16 now, learning to drive.
That baby is not getting smacked against the baby killing tree in Cambodia.
Oh God.
He's on a diaper box.
You smell like seaweed.
He's always stinky. He just had a bath too. Or his breath.
His breath smells like seaweed. I guess it smells like dog food.
Dog ASMR.
Mom, I want to try.
Ruby has something to say.
It's poopy diaper.
It's a boo.
We got a diaper, and it will get poopy. So, happy holidays. I know we're continually attempting self-improvement and things like that, but are you gonna make any 2024?
I've never done that because I'm always trying to scrub my shit.
Of course.
And time is an illusion.
Yes.
I did see somebody doing math with all the numbers and the years and the calendars and stuff, and they said this year is a period of...
Bell peppers are not spicy.
They're not.
Bell peppers are sweet.
This year was a year of inner journey and introspection and self-work, which really resonated. This was like the first year where I really was active in trying to change. And next year we get to reap the benefits.
Nice.
I'm going to grab the baby. So if you want to talk into the camera.
We're grabbing the baby. But
we've got a double header tomorrow.
Yeah. Aaron has a sushi for 8 at 3 p.m. and we have cocktail for 10.
What time are you going to go there?
5. I think I'm gonna make the dumpling filling today.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you need to use my kitchen, use it, or whatever I can do to help, let me know.
I should definitely go to
LEA. Oh god.
Go to Salt and Thyme and get the meat today. So I can just throw it together
Ruby.
tomorrow.
Okay. All right. We have been we got a solid 44 minutes. And we would have had longer if I was set up.
Poopy diaper. Murphy is a baby diaper.
Murphy is a poopy diaper.
Needs poopy diapers.
Thanks for joining us, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
thanks
this was,
to everyone.
why have we never sat on my couch before? This is
I don't
way
know.
more comfortable.
This is reminiscent of when we did it on the blue couch in the garage.
That was magical.
That was really fun. Plus, we had the light of the garage. Do you want to do some turtle?
Well, we
into
can
the
bring it
camera?
back to the garage.
Yeah. Oops,
Sit right here. Yep.
No, no,
Camera's right there.
There's the camera with the blue light, or there's the camera with the screen.
This beautiful, realistic turtle.
Play with me?
I told you I got chores to do, babe.
Papa's gonna be up
But can we play on Friday? Maybe we can have one of our Ruby Megan dates.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And remember that park we went to?
oh, yeah.
We could do that.
Yeah, and we can also go to the place.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, when I wake up today.
When you wake up Friday.
Yeah.
Turn around.
It's day for 5 days. It's 6 days for a cat to come house for 500. For my dog is 6,945. Well, baby smacked the butt.
Oh my.
Oh my god. And then he smacked it again.
Smack baby. Don't smack baby.
You just make the butt.
Ruby, sing your butt like you were singing this morning.
What?
The butt song.
Crackin' butt.
Crackin' butthole, baby. Crackin' butthole, baby. The 45, 6, 9, 45. I just need to smack the baby's butt. See that? Squeeze the baby's butt. Okay, 500 for us. 5, 6, 9, 45. Xing 34, 5, 94. And the steady 4, 5. Steady 4. And the steady 4 we need to stay for. 500 babies feet. And the 5, it's going to be a butthole baby.
My sides are cramping.
And it's going to be a butthole baby. Okay. Okay, here we go. It's a butthole baby now.
It's a butthole baby.
Butthole baby, and you smack the
Butthole
butt.
baby.
Oh, and you
It's a butthole.
Becca needs to go potty.
All right. Good job.
And then you go poop. And the shitty butthole. Shitty butthole. Fucking shitty